Internal investigators at a McDonald's say they uncovered a scheme. They said teenage workers were trying to steal customer credit card and debit card information. Hello, I'm James Brown.
I'm Cheryl McHenry. The internal probe became public Friday when those McDonald's investigators reached out to Moraine Police.
News Center 7's Mike Campbell joins us live from Moraine tonight. Mike, I know you talked with Moraine Police about this case.
Exactly, James. Right now, there are no arrests and no charges connected to this McDonald's here that is on West Alex Bell Road. But that's because Moraine Police and McDonald's loss prevention officers are still working to identify victims that may have come through those drive-through order lanes there and on up to the drive-through windows. And if they do gather evidence that there are victims in this case, that would likely lead to charges.
We've got just some credit card fraud going on with some of our employees.
That claim brought Moraine Police to this McDonald's to launch their investigation. A company loss prevention officer that works 13 restaurants in this area had uncovered potential evidence of crimes.
We have on camera the employees taking pictures of credit cards.
Police are now in the middle of their own investigation. An initial report we obtained shows that the accusations involve two 15-year-old girls who we are not naming. The company says the store's interior surveillance showed one of the teens did this 5 times in just one day.
Whether that was through the drive-thru or in the store, they were photographing the front and backs of those cards.
Police say the investigation will move slowly, at least at first. McDonald's loss prevention officer had only partial information for one customer that had reported suspected fraudulent charges on their bank card accounts. Police must answer a lot of questions before any criminal charges can be considered.
At this point, we don't know who those customers are, how many there are, or what those charges entail.
Noah Clark said all of us like the convenience of drive-thrus and bank card payments. This investigation shows him there may be a downside to that convenience.
People probably don't think twice either, not giving them their credit card information and all that. So, I mean, have to be more careful, I guess.
Police told us their understanding was that McDonald's managers planned to end the teens' employment. Officers echoed the advice for keeping a close eye on your credit and debit card accounts.
You need to stay on top of your statements, and you need to see what charges are being recorded to those accounts. And if you didn't make one, you need to report that immediately.
Back live now, we have reached out to store managers here, but they have not confirmed the status of those two employees or potentially ex-employees. Meanwhile, Moraine Police say that if you have any suspicion that you may have used this restaurant, this store here, and have some suspicious charges on your accounts, they will like you to reach out to them. Reporting live in Moraine, Mike Campbell, News Center 7.